Welcome back to Non Niche. This is Raquel, and I'm super excited for our next interview for today. And her name is Alexis, and she is a part of F the Algorithm. And yes, I said what I said, and it will be in the text. I think it's a great idea because the algorithm can either make you or break you. But she took it as well as her cousin. They're, a two-woman show, and she took it and they ran with it. She has some great events coming up. She's a wonderful person. She's trying to, change the narrative and push her trend, and she's doing so many great things. She's helping so many people, get the likes, showing support, and that's all we need is support in this world. So she said F the algorithm, and that's her brand. And I truly enjoyed talking to her, and she's really funny, and she's honest, and I think that's very important when you do have a brand. Just like Non Niche, I'm gonna be very honest with you. I'm not gonna sugarcoat or anything. I hope that we come off, and the people that I interview, we come off authentically because we want to have authentic conversations. We want to collab with really good brands as well as people, artists, creators, all the above. That's what we're here to do, is network with one another, be authentic, be kind and loving. And she's doing that with F the Algorithm, and she's working on some great events. I know people were asking, so I can't wait for you guys to see this interview, and I know I'm trying not to spoil everything in this intro, so let's check it out. Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
I'm okay. It's been a very, very long day, but I'm here.
Girl, look, I literally just came out of the car. I just got off my job. I was just like, I got 2 minutes to spare.
I literally was like, all right, I'm going to take a nap. And then before I know it, my alarm's going on. I was like, all right, I got to put on some lip gloss or something.
No, I totally understand. And I love it because I was just like, I got 2 minutes. I can do it. I can do it. I got 2 minutes.
It's okay.
But
we're here. We're good. It's good.
We're here. We're good. I know there's a couple people still trying to come on, but I'm super thankful that you came and are able to do this. I was really intrigued because I first saw you on TikTok, and I was just like, oh, that would be dope to have this. I'm like,
no, thank you. I'm so honored. I was like, oh, I don't like doing interviews. I don't like talking about myself. So I was like, we gonna see how this goes. So I'm so honored. Thank you.
Well, it's about your baby. So it's
my
not all
baby,
the way. It's about your
my baby.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But no, tell me a little bit how F the Algorithm kind of got started, and I think it's amazing because the algorithm can either hurt you or break you. Yeah. So I would love to hear more about that.
It actually happened very randomly. So okay. I am in the influencer content creator space, and a brand had reached out to me, and I won't say the brand's name because I'm not a big fan of the brand. Granted, I did collab with them, but I don't want to say nobody.
That's fair. Keep it business.
But I had collabed with a brand, and they initially wanted me to jump on one of their other events, but none of them aligned to me. But they really wanted to collaborate with me, so they were like, "Take some time, think about it. You can do whatever you want." And at the time, it was a lot of discussion on TikTok around Black and brown content creators not getting the same opportunities, and just basically the long story of with us not being treated the same as our white counterparts in any space that we are in. And I ended up having a conversation with my cousin, who I usually bounce a lot of ideas off of. And during the whole conversation, we just was like, F the algorithm, F the algorithm. And I was like, I should do an event called F the Algorithm, but was joking the entire time. And she's like, no, you should really do it. You should do an event called F the Algorithm. And I was like, I want to use that opportunity that was given to me to create a space for us to come together
And so I had like posted about it on TikTok, but didn't think anybody was actually gonna come. And like 100+ people came, and I was like, oh my god. But it was a really good turnout. It was a lot of people who came out that just wanted to like meet other people. I know that some people had told me like they had came by themselves and left with friends.
Mhm.
And I think that was the purpose of it, to build a community within a community, because I feel like most of the times, especially in the content creator space, you always see like one or two token Black or brown people on like brand trips or like
Right.
any collab or any brand partnership. And it's kind of like there's enough space for all of us at the table. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be like that one token person. And I think it's because no one's talking to each other. Like everyone's struggling, but
Mhm.
everyone's having the same struggle and no one's talking. So it's like we need to start talking to each other. So that's kind of how it started. Yeah.
Well, I think that's amazing because, like, you know, I mean, like, I know TikTok has, from the time, like, when you guys started and from the time now, like, social media is just, like, definitely, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
as it does. But I think it's still kind of like that underlining thing, like, having, you know, the POC creators having enough individuality and uniqueness of what you can bring to the table.
Right.
Because yes, it is kind of hard and you want to stand out, but most of the time we don't have to try that hard.
Yeah.
You know? And then like
You
what we
sounds
do
about right.
might be like you know, you know, what we do may not be, you know, it's effortless and some might have to like work a little bit harder,
Mhm.
and that's perfectly fine.
Right.
Everybody has their strengths, and that's not what, you know, F the algorithm is, because sometimes people get so like, oh, well, you just want to, you know, seclude yourself. And like, no, it's also like there's so many other companies as well saying like, you know, the Latinas, you know,
Yeah.
everybody. So it's kind of just saying like, hey, that we're here too, but also we created a space.
Right.
You created a space where, you know, POC creators can create and also have enough longevity and then also weight within their name. Because you didn't have that unless somebody, you know, gave it to you. But
right, exactly.
You know, unfortunately, we don't always get those same opportunities unless we're like associated with something, or we look a little bit like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's really, I'm really trying to watch my words here, because one, we're not trying to get famous.
But I understand what you're saying. So it's cool.
Yeah. But no, I commend you on that. Like how's the growth and, you know, the expansion of the company?
Yeah, so we had that first initial event in January, and then that was in New York, and then we hosted another smaller meetup, and that was in Philly, which was really great. And they were like so enthusiastic. It was like, we're gonna do all this stuff, yada yada yada, because it's myself and my cousin. And then life just was lifing this summer, so we weren't able to do anything. And I feel so bad because people were like, are you going to come to this city? Are you going to come to this city? You should do this in this city. And I'm like, y'all slow down. We're a team of two.
Team of two.
But no, we are currently working on a fall event because summer is a lot. Like a lot of people are traveling. Like we're traveling and don't want to like burn ourselves out. Also don't want to put together something super quick that's not thought out, that's just thrown together really quickly. Want it to be intentional, want to be able to find a space that understands what we want to do and is willing to help us cultivate that safe space for the people that come.
Yeah, and I think it's good, and that's how I was trying to tell like people on non-niche. It's just like it's hard to get interviews because people be busy in the summer. Like from, I think it like kicks off like
the summertime is crazy. Like the summertime is crazy. And not for so my 9 to 5. So content is my 5 to 9, which is really like 5 to 12 because I don't really go to sleep at 9 o'clock. I might be in my bed but might not go to sleep. But my 9 to 5, I work in HR. And the summertime is the busiest time. That's when people usually take their PTO. Like people are all over. People got trips with their family, trips with their significant others, solo trips. Just don't want to work, want to be outside. Like it's a lot happening, and ideally it would have been so nice to have one in the summertime, but it just didn't align with our schedules, and again, didn't want to like burn ourselves out. So
Yeah, and that's important, especially when the beginning stages of the company.
yeah.
Like you have to kind of like go through those seasons
Mhm.
and be like, okay, so if I want to do a summer, or if I want to, have something in the summer, I have to do like almost a year out, so it
Yeah.
can just be booked on people's stuff. Because like I was thinking about that, and it didn't occur to me, even though I've been working in the retail industry probably for too long. But I was like, I'm like, we have like, and I was laughing because I was shopping the other day and I saw pumpkins. I'm like, hold on, because
Please don't get me started. Don't get me started. It is still the summertime. Fall does not start until September 22nd.
Yeah.
I like pumpkin spice as much as the next girl. It is still the summertime.
I'm like, wait a day or a minute. I'm like, oh, those pumpkins? Like, you have to pre-order that for it to be, like,
Yeah.
how? Why?
Yeah.
Don't rush me. Don't rush me.
Yeah.
So that's why I was just saying, like, for, like, next summer, like, I'm trying to get everything in line. But sometimes you do have to do that because people be booked and busy. Summertime is about booked and busy and trips. But, no, I'm super excited. And you said it was, like, in New Jersey, and New York City for the event. Yeah.
Yeah. So the first one was New York, second one was Philly. This one's either gonna be New Jersey or New York because I live within that area. But I'm looking to collab with another event company who is doing something similar, but not for the same demographic, but would love to explore like collaborating with other people who have the same vision to say.
Yeah, and I think that's good because one, that expands your clientele too. It also shows that you're willing to work with others. That creates like a conversation. And what's discouraging is when I keep on seeing like people like in brand trips saying like they didn't have the best experience, and like naturally I'm like an introverted person anyway, so like not me having my own show here, but I'm just like naturally I'm an introverted person. So if I'm going on a brand trip and I'm super excited and then like I kind of get left behind, that's disheartening. That is so disheartening. And I try not, because me personally, I'm just like, look, I got a free trip. And I'm like,
I'm trying to enjoy that free trip.
Exactly. I'm just gonna enjoy my alone time, clearly, and enjoy the perks and be in my own space or whatever. But like for the people who really want to be engaged, and for the people who want to be included and feel proud because they earned their spot. Yeah. And it's just kind of like, it's disheartening.
I think it is very disheartening, but I think that where we are in social media today, I'm so grateful that people are speaking up, because I'm sure like the Jackie Inas, the Alyssa Ashley, like they all probably went through those same things and was so scared to say anything about a brand trip, or felt like someone was mistreating me, but like never said anything on their platform. Like I'm just glad that people are saying these things. Like I'm so glad the whole Tarte thing happened. So to be completely honest with you, because like
Tarte,
no shade to Tarte. Okay, I've never used Tarte. Never used Tarte. Never been gravitated to that brand just because I'm not their demographic, and I understand that. But I'm glad that people spoke up about the Tarte trip, and Tarte PR team they just need to fire them and get a new one. But I'm glad they were able to talk about that experience, because as someone who is striving to be a part of that or wants to be on a brand trip, I want to know, like, I can speak up if someone's treating me unwell. Like, I can use my platform, and you just continue to see it multiple times, and then you'll have people that like try to discredit people's experiences, and that's always going to happen. People are always going to try to invalidate you when you're speaking your truth, but like I would rather people speak their truth than feel silenced. So I do appreciate that, but it is still kind of like disheartening that it's 2023 and people are still going through that.
Yeah, and then like also like you see a lot more, especially with the job market right now, you see a lot more entrepreneurs,
Mm-hmm.
which is great. And it's all like a lot of like POC, even, a lot
Yeah.
of races right now. So I feel like that, you know, opens so many doors for many possibilities, even for like jewelry brands, like whatever brand
Yeah.
possible. But you have to be able to like there's some things that I don't agree with when it comes to like talking about brands.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's universally known that, Tarte, their team probably didn't handle that situation very well.
Yeah.
But I don't know Tarte because Tarte doesn't typically work for my skin. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, it's cool, respect. But I think that's where a lot of people kind of disengage because it's just like you can say like, hey, I didn't have the best experience, but also the latter, like you said,
Yeah.
like I'm grateful for the trip, I just didn't personally have the best experience. But that can't be like that can't be the end all be all where you're so scared that they're gonna snatch your blessings away.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, baby, it's gonna be okay. But I probably, if that happened to me, like I said, I'm a natural introvert anyway.
Mm-hmm.
If I was just like, hey, I'm blessed for whatever I
I'm
got.
just happy to be here, girl.
Yeah,
If you don't use that voice God gave you and get it together.
yeah. You know what? And I was just like, people getting the golden ticket and stuff. I'm like, mine's a
Yeah.
little bronze, but we're there.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
think it's also good to open up and talk about it. And I don't know why people are having hard times to like actually have these conversations, because you can have like a difference of opinion. Nobody's saying that you have to agree. It's just like,
Yeah.
hey, like your voice is worthy of being heard, so is ours.
Yeah.
On like all different like platforms and all different like scenarios, because it's just like everybody has a good point because that's relevant to them. It's just when they stop listening to the other party,
Yeah.
and negates the weight it holds. And I think that's goes into humanity and how when you say F the algorithm, it's just like you bring kind of the human side to it, because it's just like, why is the computer telling us what's relevant and what's not when we
Right.
created it?
Right.
Like, I'm so sorry. So, like, who's the algorithm? We are.
Yeah. Basically, because when you think about it, even when you do like search engine, like all of that, you always think like it's like, oh, like weekly vlog, but then it's like weekly vlog black or like black girl TikTok. Like you have to specify what you want to see, or they're going to show you the first thing they see. And I will say that I do like that TikTok will, their algorithm will understand what you like and they will show you more of that. So my For You page is very black. But I think that's just how their algorithm is. Granted, they change their algorithm all the time, just like Instagram. But I think for me, as the algorithm is more of like they keep changing, trying to show me what I want to see, and I already know what I'm interested in. And I also feel like as a creator, most of the time we get so stuck in worrying about the algorithm, like, oh, the algorithm's like this, or like I can't push this, or like the algorithm's working against me. But I feel like it's more of like there's not enough people seeing my content, or not enough people that look like me that are supporting me, so I can beat the algorithm.
Mm-mm. And also it's just like the people that are like having a good time with the algorithm, they're also boosting their posts. And I want people to understand that they have a team that pays to boost. There's a boosting features. Like when I started this, I was just like, oh yeah, $5. I'm like, it's five a lot, when you go down the road. But now you're trying to do it. If you're trying to do it organically, I can see how it's like defeating. But people got money where they can pay to boost, and that video will go up.
People are paying to promote their videos.
Yeah.
It's not me though. I'm sorry. If you see my video, you see it. If you don't, I'm not spending my $5 for you to see it. Like, just make sure you follow me and come back to my page so you can see more stuff. Like,
I mean,
I don't have it in me.
And I'm just like thinking on my brand. I'm just like, that's a brilliant plan. Create an algorithm, but you pay me to push your stuff when I know your stuff as good as that person over there who's not even paying.
Yep. And then it's still like you're gonna pay for it, but like where are you pushing me to? Or like are you actually pushing me, or you're just like you're gonna give me a couple of views to make me believe you're pushing me, and then you're not really pushing me. Like
Yeah. Because
I have so many questions about the algorithm. Like I just F the algorithm, not my friend.
but that's what I'm saying. It's just like I was trying to grow my personal page, and it's just like, well, if you know, there's no right or bad time to like post on Instagram anymore. But like you have to turn off like the toggle feed to say like, okay, any reels on this. I'm like, why do we have to go through the tips and gadgets and tricks and the not hashtag but hashtag this? And I'm like, I get the business side of that, but I'm like, you create so much burnout because you're literally in competition with billions of people.
Right.
And, you know, it's just like back in the day before we had social media, like strongly, you know, you were just hot stuff. Like YouTube has never skipped a beat. In my opinion, has never skipped a beat.
Yeah.
At all. And I'm like,
YouTube's in their own lane. So like how I see it is YouTube is them, and then TikTok's trying to be YouTube, and then Instagram's just trying to fit in where it can. Because Instagram was like the fun app. Like you used to throw your picture up there and call it a day, and it was like, okay, great. Wasn't trying to figure out, oh, I gotta post it at this time because people are off of work. It was more of a fun app. It's now stressful because they changed the algorithm multiple times. They're like making business decisions, which honestly makes sense, and I understand from a business perspective of Instagram, but I think they lost sight of like the reason why people liked Instagram. Like it was like Instagram was like Twitter. Like you could just be there, and it was just like, okay, I'm here, I took my picture, like my picture of me and my auntie. Like it's not like that anymore. It's like if your picture isn't aesthetically pleasing, your feed isn't aesthetically pleasing, you're not using reels, you're not going to grow.
Yeah. And then it's disheartening. And also like the same thing with TikTok. Like this is horrible, but somebody said, and it reflects my profile to the T. Somebody said, if you have a lot of likes but 0 followers, it just means that you're either not pretty or you're just not that interesting. And I was like, dang.
No, what? I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. I don't believe it at all. Because I used to think that at one point. I was like, dang, like I thought I was cute. Like, why are you not following me? But I realized that like people need you to tell them, like, follow me because I do X, Y, and Z. Like, you need to come back because the algorithm isn't going to always tell you or show you my content. Like, so I think for me, I started taking content super serious. Was it this year or was it last year? It was one of the years. I want to say it was last year. It was definitely last year. And in a lot of my videos, I would put like hit the plus because that's what it shows up on TikTok. It was like hit the plus if you want to see more outfit of the day. And I started to skyrocket my growth because people are like, okay, I know what she wants me to do. Like she just wants me to follow her. And I can keep seeing what I liked the first time. So definitely try to just put it in like, maybe like the middle of your video, like hit the plus so you can follow me.
Yeah. I think I'm just too nonchalant. Like I would love to like I'm gonna be honest with you because I'm a very nonchalant person. Like I can show up and be like, hey, and I'm vibrant.
Yeah.
But when it comes to my page and I want people to follow, I'm not like there's some people where I feel like they take it so seriously, like their life depends on it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like at this point I'm like, I can't even follow you because you're making me have anxiety. Like slow down.
Yeah, I've definitely eased up. It's like every other video or like when I remember now. But I think it is different depending on like where you are in your TikTok journey or like in your social media journey. Because like some people, this is like their full-time job. They make a living from this. Like it is what they do. And like, so yeah, they're going to be annoying. Like, I need you to follow me because my check depends on this. But I think it's also like, okay, like relax. Like Just be a cool
No.
person so I can follow
And
you.
girl, I'm just saying, like, if I can get like enough followers where I can be on live and make some money, because I was
You're
just like,
almost there though. It's
Huh?
okay. You just one day at a time, one follower at a time.
I know one follower at a time, but I'm just saying, like, I think it's just they took the fun away from it. And that's what the algorithm is. It's just like the Arm& Hammer just sucked the fun out of social media and being creative, because you start, after a while, you just start seeing the same stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just like when you start seeing the same stuff, and if you are trying to get into social media, it's like the underlining competition type of feel, like, well, they already did that, so you kind of just psych yourself out unintentionally. And you have there was like a couple of videos like this, but it was like a side by side of like two different creators saying the exact same thing, but one had more views than the other, one had more likes than the other, and it's just like they literally said, to me, they literally said the same thing. And but the algorithm pushed something because that's more preferred than what's liked. So it's just like, how would you tell somebody, you know, coming from a business standpoint and being a creator and a creative, it's just, what would you tell like a person first starting out to be like, okay, what do you do to grow, or what do you do just to keep like the mindset of not getting defeated, because you easily can if you don't have time. You know.
I think for me, there is a difference between copying and being inspired. And so like you watched the video and it basically sounded like they were saying the same thing. One person probably saw the other person was like, okay, I'm going to say this and that's going to be that. Whereas like everyone does a get ready with me, everyone does an outfit of the day, or get dressed with me, or pick an outfit with me, or a fashion haul or whatever. But I think everyone has their own style to it, or should at least have their own style, because everyone is different. So even if you want to do something in a niche that is overpopulated already, the one thing that stands you apart from everyone else is that you're you and they are them. So, and it took me a while to learn it, because I was like, well, why are people that are doing the same thing not really, like, why am I not getting the same views, or am I not getting follows, yada yada yada. But I think for me, it was just understanding, like, my people haven't found me yet, so I'm just going to keep going so that my people can find me, if that makes sense. Like, they're getting their target audience, or they're getting the people that connect to them as a creator. Love that for them. My people haven't found me just yet, and that's okay. And I feel like we're in this space where everyone wants to go viral overnight, and everyone wants to just, like, I posted 3 videos, like, why am I not at 100K yet? Like, why can I not make a living from this yet? And was it Keke Palmer that was like, she did an interview and I watched it recently, and she was like, you can't compare yourself to someone who's been doing something longer than you and expect to be where they are. So like, I can't be like, oh, why am I not popping, and this girl has been doing it for like 10 plus years and I've only had skin in the game for 2 years, and I want her numbers. Like, that doesn't really make sense. Like, she had to start where I was. She had to learn what I had to learn. Like, you're gonna get there, you just have to keep going. And I think that's just like, because I think a lot of people forget that, like, being a content creator or an influencer, you're actually an entrepreneur. And like, no one's business just randomly grows overnight. Like, everyone is like grinding. A lot of people are like, say like, oh, like, I don't want a 9 to 5, I want to be an entrepreneur. You are working 24/7. That's why that's why I always say, like, my 5 to 9 is not really 5 to 9, because then, like, I'll be in bed, but like a TV show will be on and I'll be on CapCut, like, editing things for TikTok and Reels, because I'm like, okay, well, like, I can figure that out now and do it now so I can sleep a little later tomorrow. So it's just like, I just always tell people, just keep going, even if the numbers aren't where you thought it would be. Like, I had one TikTok and I just randomly posted it because I'm still on a high from the Drake concert. And I found it in my draft and was like, oh, I need to post it. But when I first posted it, it was like 300 views and I just didn't let it get to me. It randomly skyrocketed to like 2,000. And I was like, so y'all gonna go see Drake? Like, what's going on? So you just never know. Like, one video, you can post it and think like, oh, this is gonna be bomb. I know this is good content, and post it, and the algorithm not push you out. And all you really need is like a few people to start liking it and engaging with your content. And you never know, the algorithm might be like, okay, a couple of people, let's try this again, and push you again. So you just gotta
And I find that, you know, repurposing your content is helpful because sometimes, like, I will repurpose like my videos that I make and be like, oh, this would be great. Or like, if there's like a good quote, I was just like, oh, you know, in the world that we're in right now, I think that would be really good for somebody to hear. But I just want people to be blessed be, but like, relax about it, because like, we all want to have those, you know, extra streams of income where this could be a job.
Right.
Like, I would love that. I would love to have Not Niche as a TV show, and I can actually bring people in and then, you know, talk to them and raise their own, you know, account up. That's what I would love to do, because you don't get to have these conversations with people anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, of course you do, but it's just like big movie stars, but they all kind of have the same story after a while. I'm just like,
But they all have the same story with some type of like a little different variation to it. Like, they all have their like, I struggled and I was doing multiple interviews or multiple auditions and everyone was telling me no, blah, blah, blah. And I think it might have been Drake. I'm very much a Drake fan. Might low-key be borderline obsessed.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, we all have our...
He said that he got, if I'm not mistaken, 20 no's and then got a yes. And they told him no multiple times. And I was like, they told Drake no? But imagine being like, you keep getting no's and then someone finally is like, you know what, I'm gonna take a shot because I believe in you. I'm gonna say yes. And then they say yes, you blow up, and then you're like, wow, what are the people that said no? Like, how do you feel that you said no to me?
Yeah.
You know,
to Drake.
You said no to Drake, but like, putting yourself in that, and it's like someone just said yes to you. Like, someone's going to say yes. And I think that's why I'm kind of like, okay, like, even to myself, I'm like, okay, you can keep going. Like, someone eventually is going to say yes, love this girl's content, like, whatever, want to take her on a brand trip, like, let's do this. And it'll just be like, don't you wish you would have said yes? Like, and then people love to spin the block. People love to talk about how, like, they exes spin the block. Brands love to spin the block. People in general love to spin the block. Like, oh my God, you have so much potential. Would love to work with you. Didn't you just tell me no 3 months ago? Yeah.
But like, and I think it's, unfortunately, in that type of business, it is about who you know and who, like, you're associated. And you know, that's just, even like looking for a job. I was talking about it in a previous interview. You know, I started going to different businesses, like, in person. And I had to put the face to the name with my resume in hand and be like, hey, like, I already applied online, but I want you to, you know, unfortunately, I just hopped off of like a freelance job, so I kind of look a little bit, you know, sweaty. But, but I was like, you know, you have to make those extra efforts, because it is about who you know. It is about, you know, getting no told to you in your face, but there's always going to be a yes somewhere. Like, and then also, like, no should be scary to people. And this should be like, okay, well, I'm about to get my yes. I'm too fabulous not to have a yes in my life. You know,
the worst someone can tell you is no.
I mean,
and then you're like, okay, cool. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for taking the time. I hope that we can work together in the future.
Yeah.
The yes will come.
Yes. So with that, with the algorithm, like, how do you see it expanding into, like, creating more yeses for, like, POC people, creating more yeses for people who are, like, under the, you know, algorithm and trying to just make it like, how do you see F the algorithm just expanding?
Yeah. I would love to be in a space where I can do it in the multiple cities, multiple times throughout the year. But also would love to like collaborate with brands and bring maybe brand executives or people from different brand PR teams to those events so that people could actually network and be like, I align with your brand. I love your brand. Like, even if it's just like, I want to be on your PR list, like, would love to bring those type of people and conversation and opportunities to the events. We're not there yet, but that's the goal. You know, we're working towards it. My cousin always says, because I loved BeautyCon before BeautyCon got relaunched.
Really big, yeah.
Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, Essence purchased BeautyCon, so it's a little different now.
So.
But it makes sense with their branding of things. But she's like, yeah, maybe it can be like a BeautyCon. And when she said it, I was like, yeah, okay, like whatever. But like when you think about it, that sounds so dope to have like a BeautyCon or a BeautyCon situation. That's just Black and brown content creators networking with other brands or being introduced to different companies that they've never heard about or never thought about trying. You just never know what opportunities could come from that, or like have people on panels to talk about their journeys or give tips and things of that nature. So I don't know. I'm not really putting like a hard, like this is what I want it to be. I'm just kind of like going with the flow and seeing where it takes me. But if it can get to that level, I would love that. That would be cool.
Yeah, I mean, like, and when you first started out, like, I honestly, like, non-niche was not I was not on my radar. I was just like, I don't want to pick a niche because I have multiple components that make me need, and I can't choose.
Yeah.
And that's me. And I, you know, started doing my own artwork and, you know, different content creating and whatever. And I was just like, oh, this is bigger than me. I gotta share this. And I feel like you know, any entrepreneur has had that. It's just like, okay, this started out for me, but it needs to be shared. But I think what's helpful and then also makes you not have anxiety is when you have soft goals. Like, this is kind of like the area that I wanted to go in.
Yeah.
And then let things play out so you know how to like maneuver.
Yeah.
Effortlessly. Yeah. Because like when you say, I'm going to do this, but like after a while you see that it doesn't align with your company is anywhere, you're like, the plan has changed.
Yeah, we're just going with the flow and seeing where it takes us. But I think it's going to take us far, for sure.
I think so too. And I've been watching, I've been following.
Oh,
and you're welcome. But no, I just like super was excited, and I know it's been like a good hot minute because I was like, I'm gonna get these people on the show. I don't care what's gonna happen, but it's gonna happen, damn it.
And that is my fault because, like I said, life has been lifing, and I'm so sorry. But
no. It happens to me all the time. It's just like I know it's gonna happen. It may not happen today, but I know it's gonna happen. Yeah. Ta-da! Today's the day.
Today is the day.
Yeah. But no, I just really appreciate you and what you and your cousin, like the two women show, and creating a change, which is really important because we always need, you know, just the extra platform to push, you know, like-minded, you know, conversation, like-minded creations, which goes kind of under the radar, but you're bringing it to the radar, which, you know, I just really commend you for doing that, taking the, you know, entrepreneurship risk and reward. And I know life be life, and you're like, I gotta do this too because this is also my job.
Yeah. I laughed because my cousin is in the comments. Tequila Shantae is my cousin.
Hi.
With the heart. We've been talking about you, girl.
I'm like, all good things, I promise.
Yeah, all good things. Literally, honestly though, I don't think I would be or would have gotten to do not even the first event without her, because like I said, I built so many ideas off of her, or like she influenced a lot of ideas And like honestly, when we were talking about it, I don't even think like we were saying F the algorithm in our conversation. I was like, you don't think that's a little risky? Like people gonna be like, she was like, no, F the algorithm.
You're like, no, we're gonna go with
Yeah.
it. This is a decision,
So,
okay?
I feel like, it wouldn't be where it is, or I feel like people wouldn't want to attend events, or like wouldn't want to be like, oh my God, when's the next one? When is this going to happen? If I didn't have somebody else that is also on the same team that believes in the same vision to get to the same goal.
Period. I love it. Because that's what you need. And like I was telling somebody, it's just like when it comes to your business and first starting out, like that's literally your baby.
Yeah.
That is your baby, and you want to make sure everything that you're doing is aligned with the story. And it may not make sense to other people, but it doesn't need to.
Yeah.
Like you stated before, everybody's going to find their own audience. It just takes them time. And I think what you're doing is still a very big much hit, and we need this, and especially like New York, Philly, like those are big content creating hubs anyway. So that's like a really good place to, God. So I commend you.
I have this conversation with my friends all the time because we're all into like watching vloggers on YouTube, but like the Atlanta girlies have it down pat. Like they're all in each other's videos. They all hang out. They all vacation together. And I'm just like, all the content creators that live in New York, and why is this not a thing? Like, why is this not happening? Other people that live over the river in Jersey, like, why is this not a thing? So maybe one day it'll be a thing. But
yeah, maybe you'll have your own brand trip one day.
Maybe I'd be down for it. We gotta go somewhere fun though.
You're like, hello. And like have like, highlighted products, highlighted creators. I'm like, hey, like, if you can't find a space, you better create it.
Sometimes you gotta create the space when you can't find it. Absolutely.
I completely agree. And you have done that very successfully, and I can't wait to hear more about your upcoming event. And if you need anything, if you need like extra boosting or just like promoting, like whatever you put out, I'll share it on here. You never not have a follower in me. So if you need me to repost or share or send it to somebody, just let me know. That's what I'm here for.
Same back to you. Same back to you. We are now in a network together. So yeah.
I love it. And thank you so much for everybody who's joining in. Thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it because I want to get people's story out, because I think it's very important, and it's also good to get out of your own head, because you realize that everybody has the same exact struggle.
Yes, like you were saying, every actor or actress has some type of struggle. They all struggled and was like, I really wanted to do this, or like they all were kid actors, or like was like, oh, I was in a commercial, or like I was in a Disney show for like 5 minutes and I said 2 lines. But like they struggled until they got to where they are, and then like everyone has some variation of the same story. Yeah. So like you're not alone when it comes to like, especially in the content space, like, and I think that's one of the main things that we want to bring out. Like everyone is struggling. Like we are all trying to figure it out. The only issue is we're not talking to each other, because our white counterparts, they're chatting with each other. They're making guides. They're selling little booklets. Like, here are all the emails. Here's the brand pitch. Like, here you go, girl. I'm giving it to you on a silver platter. And that's not the same in our community. So if we could change that, that would be great.
Yeah. I mean, like, also, like, everybody has an ebook.
Yeah.
Everybody has, like, that digital product life. And I'm like, I'm trying to create my own so I can get some, okay? Like, I'm not mad at people making money. Yeah. It's just, like, you also, like, remember have to, like, create a space. Yeah. And also, like, a good marketing team is, like, create a freebie so people are willing to buy.
Yeah.
Product. So like if you get something for free, it's just like, oh, this is valuable. Don't say like, oh, this free thing that doesn't really do anything. Like, it doesn't want to buy more from you.
You gotta build trust before you start just telling people it's $10 for your ebook. Like, ma'am, don't try to scam me out of $10. I could have had a Chick-fil-A meal. Let's be for real.
I found an ebook, and I think it was like for Pinterest marketing. and it was like $77. I'm like,
That's a scam. That's a
I
Zara
was
outfit
like,
right there. That's a scam.
77, like, what's all in here? Like, I need a preview, like, I need a description, because unless you have like Pinterest and like their
Yeah.
back coding in here to push the
Yeah.
products that I want to advertise, like, I
That,
need some answers.
but I
Why is
think
it $77?
yeah. But I think that people forget that everything is also on YouTube. Like YouTube University is for the free 99. Like I don't know. I think it's just sometimes people don't want to do the work to do the research, so they rather buy that ebook and rather spend the $70 instead of being like, I'm going to sit down one day and figure out what is SEO, how do I push my content, how do I beat the algorithm, how do I understand the algorithm. So most of the time, people are trying to like I said, people want to go viral overnight, and let's be for real.
Yeah, and
It happens to some people, and it doesn't happen for everyone. Like it's one out of a blue moon. Like you just never know.
yeah, and like if you're lucky to have that blue moon moment, like you earned it.
Yes,
But at the same
absolutely.
time, like don't negate like somebody who, and sometimes there might be a situation where they didn't try that hard
Yeah.
and they got to the point. But I always remember to like never forget people's journey, because like everybody started at the beginning. Like no
Mhm.
matter like what you've done, like everybody starts at the beginning, and it's
Yeah.
hard. And you have to get your mindset right. And then like looking at, I forgot what her name was. I'm not very good at this, but I forgot what her name was. But she like did dances, but like copied other people's dances, and then she went on like talk shows, and now she's like the biggest thing. And I can't remember her name, but I can see her face.
Are we talking about like Charlie something, or are we talking about Addison Rae? Because it happened twice.
Yeah, those two.
The girl
But I
Charlie,
was just like,
she has her own talk show now, or her own
That's-
reality show. So,
but that's what I'm saying. It's just like, you see that, you get discouraged, because it's just like,
yeah.
But but we can take our wins, because typically that's short lived. But the quicker that you go and you don't do that much hard work, and you don't have a good heart,
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
never lasts long. And I've seen it repeatedly. It never lasts long. It does not have any longevity. But the people who help somebody else and creates a pathway for somebody else, like when you go through the door, you hold the door for somebody.
Mhm.
Like that's what you naturally do.
Yeah.
You get through the door and just like, oh, okay, let me hold this door for you. You don't shut it because
No.
you had a struggle.
Oh, it's not natural for everybody. I'm just gonna say.
I know. And I live in in a fairy tale world, clearly, because I'm like, that's what I would do. I'm like, I don't care if you don't talk to me, but I
Yeah.
will always hold the door.
Yeah.
But I think, like I said, this is very important, and I love what you're doing. I love how you're doing it in a very diplomatic way, without saying like creating like a strong separation in like more of like a negative light.
Yeah.
You're doing it in a nice way. Some people are not doing it in the greatest way possible, but I will not.
Everyone has their own way of thinking about things. Our events are catered to people of color, but all are welcome.
Right.
But it is always said that like everyone is welcome. You are welcomed as an ally. Like this space is not for you. Like if you do not identify, we will welcome you with open arms. But like it is not here for you to share your struggles.
Because everybody walks a different path, and that doesn't mean that one is better than the other. It's just like we want to make sure that everybody's aligned and everybody's pushed the same way, as your counterpart on the other side can do it too. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just like, hey, we want to get ours too, and if we band together and actually come in a community and move forward, I think that just brings the type of unity that can't break so easily. And even when I think it was like the Black Girl Follow train, and that's what initially happened to me, where I was starting to follow all these people and like nobody followed me back, and I was just like, girl, I got like 3,000 followers and I'm following, and I'm like, I don't even like some of these people, but I was like, what the hell?
I was here for it. I was care for it if it was genuine. Like, I didn't do it. Granted, when we were posting about our first event, it did kind of blow up because of the Black Girl Follow train, which we did benefit from. But I personally didn't do it. I'm not really a follow for follow person. Like, why are you following me if you don't really like my content? Like, okay, if you gravitate to my content, cool, great. But if you're following me because I follow you, you're not going to interact with my content because you don't like my content. Like, you're worried about your numbers. So that was my thing about the follow for follow training, but it worked for some people and some people it didn't.
It did for some people. I was just like, dang, like, y'all ain't gonna follow nobody back. And that was like for the very beginning. That was a while
They was
ago.
worried
I was
about
just like,
their numbers.
Excuse me.
They was worried about their numbers, okay?
You know,
They were trying to get the K behind the number.
well, I just look. I'm all for it, and I know one day everybody's gonna get to the place that they want to get to because you know you can't struggle for long. It's only for a moment.
Yeah.
And but no, is there anything lastly that you want to leave your audience with F the algorithm and the message that you want to leave here?
That more events are coming. Just be patient.
Stop emailing me.
I'm trying to get my life together, okay? I'm doing a lot of things. My cousin wrote a book that's coming out soon. So, like, she has a lot going on. So we're trying to figure it out and wear multiple hats at the same time. Right now, I'm just trying to balance content and my 9 to 5 and traveling the world. Once I sit down, my issue is I don't know how to sit down. Once I sit down, we'll be good and the event will be coming. So fall 2023, fingers crossed.
At least it's in the same year, okay, everybody. Yes. It's in the same year, okay. Like in a couple of months, you know, fall. You know,
when it's actually fall and not summertime and 90 degrees outside, and people think it's fall. But
exactly, like that's after September. So yes. You know, line up, give her some time, give her breathing room, okay.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah. But no, thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I knew it was going to be good, so I'm glad that we finally got, some time to actually just sit down, get to know each other, become allies for one another. And like I said, I will continue to support you and your cousin and just show off your work and have like another push to get your stuff out there.
Thank you so much. You got my email. You know how to get in touch with me. And
yes.
I'm here if you need me. I'm here
yes. if you need me. Well, thank you so much. And I will let you enjoy the rest of your night so you can get some rest and probably not enter any more in the emails to saying, hey, girl, when's the next event?
They're not going to stop. It's okay. They're not going to stop.
I mean, at least they're asking.
At least they're asking. My issue would be if no one was like checking for us. But yeah.
There you go. Silver lining.
Yeah.
But have a wonderful night, and I'm super grateful. And keep doing what you're doing, and I'm always here to support. Okay.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. Bye everyone.